Alright, now you know what time it is. If not, you know who Ron this is. You seek to sneak what I speak from your boy, cause the tape was his. He bought the thoughts that I sought. Half these dope MCs are taught for evidence. Ask residents to witness this in court. I bring idols to vital premises. So don't let your stubborn grudge be the reason why you didn't see me fudge the kid. You was sweating, but not regretting the fact that you was letting him gas your head with what he said, and then instead forgetting that I have grown in this field.
You're from East Orange, right?
Nah, well, actually, I'm from Essex County. I say that because I was born and raised in Newark. As far as rhyming, you know, I've been rhyming since I was about like 14, 15 years old, right? But like, you know, my aunt, like Amanda and shit, she was like fucking with Flavio and the Heavy back then. So I kind of had like a green pass to get in the door. That was a little easier than others, but then it wasn't because I couldn't get down with them. She made me like finish high school first. Gradually, you know, through a couple years, like I started really getting not only better, but real great at what I call songwriting, and I attracted a few labels. You know what I'm saying? My first shit I put out back in the day was Crabs. That had came on Hot Wax Records. And,
yeah, speak on that. That was,
Hot Wax Records was like a distribution deal. It was just something, a single deal, just to put it out and see what it was gonna do. I didn't really want to put the shit out, but everybody was feeling it, so we put it out. And from there, it was like, you know, everybody just started feeling like, yo, he's a lot iller than that. We need to calm down with the publicity for a minute and just like mold him into what he has potential to be. And that's where I kind of like fell back out of the little like magazines and the little stuff, publicity and everything that Harry was getting from me. And I started fucking with D-Dot. Because he had called up Harry and was like, yo, I need that kid. And I got with him, and you know, unfortunately, it was like right around the time Biggie died. You know what I mean? That's why one of the reasons why I didn't get to meet him or whatever. But eventually, like a couple weeks later, we hooked up and we started working, and which was a real, very, very, very like, you know, appreciative experience, because I felt like I was fucking with the Yankees, like New York, like, you know what I'm saying, New York's finest at the time. And it was crazy because I always felt like I was a better rapper than a lot of niggas they might have had around them at the time or fucking with them. And I just was like, you know, to take criticism from them, it used to bug me out. Because I used to be like, ain't none of y'all nicer than me and shit like that. But then these motherfuckers got plaques with 16 million records sold, you know what I mean, around the world on the wall. So it was like, damn, you know, to some degree, they know what they talking about. So I had to shut up and just eat that. And then end of the day, they smack you on the ass and say...
It's almost,
They smack you on the ass and just be like, yeah, but you nice. That's why we fuck with you. A lot of jokers from out here that did some writing for people in New York. And not just New York, all over. I mean, because, you know, you had ROC, he was down there doing something for Jermaine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You had Knock, he was doing shit with PMD. You had me, you know, I'm fucking with the Bad Boy Camp. You had, you know, my niggas, the Outlaws, they was fucking with Pop. Then, you know, you had Nucci, Rayo and all them, they was fucking with Latifah. Like, you know what I'm saying? A lot of jokers had, like, branched out and just, you know, found their own doorway to come through and try to, like, get it there to, like, bring Jersey where it actually needed to be, for us being, like, you know, a home of just extravagant MCs. This is like a league of extraordinary gentlemen. That's more the reason why I kind of fell back and was just like, well, you know what? I don't really want to talk the New York shit. I don't even want to talk the Jersey shit. I want to talk Earth shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when motherfucker asks me, they be like, yo, Fish, where you from? First thing I say is Earth. Be honest, back then at Hot Wax Records, all I know is it was this little short Italian man, and he had like a real short staff, and basically they was big on my record, but what happened with them was a real bad business decision, I think, on our part, because we found out that they was selling records when they was telling us they wasn't, and I found out I had sold something like 3,000 records in Alabama, and then I found out over in London that the record Crabs was doing fairly well. And, you know, we tried to check the numbers, and they tried to make the paperwork disappear and this, that, and the other, so it was just kind of like, damn, me motherfuckers moving to my shit, but I ain't seeing no paper, no nothing from it, you know what I mean? So my aunt immediately got us out the deal and everything.
Have you ever thought of reissuing it? Like?
Well, nah, only because I've grown so much as an artist. It's like, this shit is mastered now. That's why I call myself the Dragon Prince, because those was really like my Dragon Ball years. Those was the years when I was just feisty, running around, feeling like I rip any nigga moving and niggas out. One thing I compare this shit to, and it has a lot to do with like martial arts, I say, is because once you mastered your shit, you just start walking around like them little Chinese old motherfuckers from the mountains rubbing their beard. Like I know I'll fuck you up. I walk past you and make the leaves cut your ass up. And if you notice one thing about over there in Asia and in the Orient and all that, you'll notice you're like the most humblest ones is the most serious ones. You know what I'm saying? And I've kind of grown to feel that way about what I do, so I don't be cocky no more in the streets, be running up in battles and all that old shit and disrespectful. Your mom this and all that old dumb shit these young niggas be doing. They've come to this because creativity has been taken out of this shit. So now motherfuckers is just finding ways to offend people through rap. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just like I air you the fuck out and I don't gotta say nothing disrespectful about nobody in your family and all that immoral shit that's going on. All that's bullshit. That's just a bunch of shit to disguise the fact that you have no experience in something, you know what I'm saying, that you actually want to become successful in. And that's what these young rap niggas is now. Going back to high school, yeah, you know, I was in a group called Miscellaneous Madness. That's me and my man Deuce. And,
Deuce?
Yeah, Deuce.
Oh, I know Deuce, yeah.
Yeah, but you know, man, Deuce was going through his shit in high school as though eventually he just felt like he needed money. So as soon as we left high school, he went straight into getting fast money, you know what I mean? So he wasn't really too beat for the game at the time because, you know what I mean, he was dealing with a lot of financial issues in his life, which caused us to, you know, go our separate ways. But, you know, everybody at the time was just trying to break through and find their place in the game. You know, a lot was fortunate than others, but at the same time, you know, I'm a firm believer in I don't put my destiny in nobody else's hands. So as you can probably imagine, any reason why I ain't really get where I needed to be, you know, at the end of the day, I'm gonna look at it like it was my fault. But at the same time, I never put a time limit on me feeling like I had to touch down in this game. I felt like, oh, I'm gonna get there. When I get there, everybody in trouble. You know what I mean? So it was no rush.
What about and when you did the single Crabs that came out of Safe House Studios?
Yeah, it came out of Safe House Studios.
How did that record get made? Like?
That record there is funny because like I went to the studio one day. I told G, I said, yo man, I got these 3 verses that's crazy, right? And I bought these CDs over of like Beethoven and Mozart, and like, you know what I'm talking about? So like it was like a CD of just live, like orchestra playing and stuff like that. And I just was like, see what you can do with this. So what happened was, G hooked it up, man. He found something. He found a couple little pieces off the live instrument. Did some old flip and bounce shit. Like he basically put a drum beat behind it, and it was a record. And it was crazy because, you know, the verses kind of married it. You know what I'm saying? As far as, but I wasn't that strongly about the record as Hardy and Harry and others that was around me was. But what I did was I just ran with the program. And because I did that, you know, we got a lot from it. You know what I mean?
Who was Hard Hitting Harry? He was a manager to the Fugees, right? Wasn't he?
Well, nah. Hard Hitting Harry was very close friend of the Fugees, but he also had his own thing going on. Harry was very known for DJing and stuff like that, but he eventually had moved into marketing and publicity and joined the company Double Exposure that Angelo Ellaby is the CEO of. And he did a lot of work for him, and through that, Angelo allowed him to pretty much just go ahead and do what he wanted to do with my project, and he funded it, made sure that, you know what I mean, Harry got whatever he needed for me. And through that, man, we just got a lot. We did BET, we did Vibe Magazine, we did Billboard, we did MTV, we did you know, a lot. Eventually I got signed to Mystery Systems. That's Ron Lawrence and D-Dot. That was their production group. Through that I got a deal with Electra Records, Sylvia Rome. And you know,
what year was this?
This was 9/8.
Oh.
This was 9/8/99. And basically,
so it wasn't East-West Electra, but everyone there had like that whole roster.
Yeah, nah. This was directly to Sylvia Rome at Electra Records. And basically, you know, from there I did, you know, a lot of records, and at the time I was still, like I said, was growing. You know, it was still a gradual process where I was trying to find myself, find my style, and where I was going with it, and this, that, and the other. And time was consuming, and eventually Sylvia wanted to know, look, we gave you enough time with this kid. What's up, Derek? Is he ready? Derek felt I wasn't ready quite yet. I was almost ready. But Sylvia was just feeling like, you know, this is a little too long. Like, you know what I mean? After all this time, you know, all we got is this one song on the kid that is actually acceptable or whatever. So,
what song was that?
It was just called What's the Dilly. It was a hot joint that Dot eventually put on his Crazy Cat mixtape because it was fire, but it was all we had at the time. Because between him and his schedule with Bad Boy and trying to deal with me being his own personal artist, you know what I'm talking about? It was a conflict of interest. So I didn't get enough time in the gym, let's say that, you know what I'm saying? So after that, eventually, okay, we lost the deal or whatever. And Derek told me, don't panic because you still got a home here. But what I was trying to do is basically prep you as an artist to be able to write songs and, you know what I mean, what have you. And there's when I got better. And as soon as I got better, you know, we did our Crazy Cat run or whatever, you know, and it was going well at the time. And then eventually, it was time for me to get another solo deal when I went over to Ariston, over where Clive Davis was. And Clive Davis fell in love with me as an artist.
You met him?
Yeah, by the end of the meeting. He felt like, Derek, we got ourselves a star here.
Wow, the Clive Davis?
Yeah, and so, you know, I just had the worst luck in the world. Because right after I got signed to Clive, like 2 weeks later, the people above him, and I think that the BMG people or whatever in Europe, the father company of Ariston was asking him to step down and step up, either like, you know, come with them. And I was feeling like, at the time, I just felt like, damn, wow, like, is that gonna affect me? Like, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, me not really knowing the politics of anything and listening, you know what I'm saying, to Derek, he like, nah, you gonna be good, you should be good. When I started asking a lot of questions that usually an artist is not supposed to ask, and not only that, a manager is supposed to handle, and I didn't have nobody controlling my business at the time. I got everywhere I ever got off the strength of my skill.
Hard Hitting Harry? He wasn't your manager, or your aunt was with labor unit? She was just a...
Nah, she eventually resigned because, you know, she watched the game undergo for years and watched how flaky it was getting and didn't see it as being feasible, you know, for her to actually any longer be a part of it. Because she didn't see it like it was basically going to be any benefit to her. It was going downhill, which she was right. Because you see, when she got out the game is eventually around the time when the internet took over the game and everybody lost money. You know what I mean? So her decision, to me, was actually one of the smartest decisions I ever seen, but that's just how business-minded she was. She saw it going. So even though I was her nephew, she was just like, nah, you know what? I wish you all my blessings, but I'm gonna depart from this. I did a record with Black Rob, I did a record with Carl Thomas, you know what I mean? I did a record with, let me see, a bunch of jokers, The Outsiders, I did a record with,
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, did that come out, or that was...
Yeah, I did. No, that one didn't come out because of what happened, because the situation dealing with Ariston. And did a record with Mae West, did a record with a bunch of people that was like in the circle or in the Crazy Cat family, but at the time, you know what I mean, everything was just up in the air. We was just really experimenting on everything. Like, nothing was just really guaranteed, or nothing was really on the whole like solidified, like boom, okay, this is what it's gonna be. Everything was just like experimenting, but at the time, a lot of the records that we was doing was prosperous as far as like they saw like progress on, you know, possibly coming before it, but like everything just went downhill when those deals got lost, I'm gonna be honest. For the most part, man, like right now, a lot of mine is, what I got going on right now is I'm putting together one of the most exclusive, very unique, elite rap groups ever. Like, you know what I mean? And that's the Ghost Breed. And it's simple. It's a bunch of hot niggas that's dead to the world. You know what I mean?
So did you, were you ever a part of the group Ill Seeds, or that just, or Kings with Crowns, or that was the Mechanics? Like, what was that? That was the,
nah, those were just really like, nah, those were just rap families that were very good friends with me, but I always was alone. Always was on. Everything I ever did was on my own. When I damn near was at the top, to the deepest, darkest parts of the streets, and the slimiest fucking hole that the streets could give me. From there all the way to the top, you know what I'm saying? I did everything by myself. That's why I'm a champion. You know what I mean? Because on all levels, I'ma come out of there and come out triumphant. One thing every joker in the hood could say, they be like, y'all say what y'all want about Fizz. That nigga finds his way there. And then all of us, Mr. Know-It-All asses, finds ourselves trying to tag along and hope he deal with us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They know, and like, you can't say like, oh, he just saying that because he was signed. No, I was signed 4 times, though. Don't get it twisted. You know what I mean? Well, y'all still running around trying to get there. Doing 1,000 rap battles, all that. What I gotta do that for when I was airing most of y'all out on the street? No cameras. My camera was people's memories. They know what it is.